Plan.
Welcome into the newest edition of JTS After Dark. I am your owner and host, Justin Jackson, and we are with Jai of the Hey Jai podcast. We are without T-Mail today. He had a scheduling conflict, so it's just us two rolling today. In today's episode, we'll talk about the NFL draft. We'll have the NBA playoffs and probably a lot of tomfoolery and chicanery. But let's get started. Oh, sorry, I
Set the
forgot.
charcuterie board.
I did not say see we're starting already. But before I forget, follow at JTime Sports on all of your favorite social medias, literally all of them. And follow at IMS Productions 2023 for all of your news and updates, all of your production needs as well.
Like,
So,
comment, subscribe to the YouTube channel.
facts. That's definitely how you get involved.
Let's get to
So,
the small draft recap. Just a small one.
just a small
I
one.
feel like we can do a victory lap today as Patriots fans.
I feel like we
No.
can. Finally. Because
Finally.
honestly, it was starting. Drafts became a sad day for me at a certain point. It was just like,
On the lowest.
what small town guard are we going to get this year that Belichick's going to convince is going to be an all pro and never is?
No.
Or what, small receiver that reminds him of Julian Edelman is going to get picked this year. But we didn't have any of that this year. We actually had a hell of a draft class. It began with the obvious pick. It began with Will Campbell. We had Steele and Travion Henderson. I think it's going to be huge. I'm a huge fan of Travion Henderson there, especially because he does his best work in a committee. The Patriots have a committee at running back.
I think he was just as. I think he could have been just as predictive as Ashton Jenny. With his skill set, I think he got the juice. He has power. He reminds me a lot of Jahmyr Gibbs, where you can give it to him and go. He has game 4.3 speed. So
Yes, he's one of those guys who's definitely football faster than he is track fast.
exactly.
Which, considering you play football and not on a track, very advantageous.
I wouldn't be surprised if starting the season he's RB1.
I wouldn't be surprised either, but I can kind of the way the Patriots have been talking, it looks like a tailback, like in a group situation, which I'm not mad at because Ramondre can still play. He just puts the ball on the floor.
Yeah.
So I think with less carries, it might actually help him not put the ball on the floor as much because he's not getting hit as much.
Less carries, improved offensive line.
Exactly.
Kyle Williams, another speedy guy that we got. We got a player that can. Kyle Williams. Come for him for me is high end Jalen Waddle, low end Darius Slayton. Good separator.
Still a quality receiver.
It's 3 or 4. We got to put 3 or 4s, but
a lot of 3s and 4s. We do.
But I think this guy, high end, he could be a 1. Worst case, I think he's walking in as a 2. You got to split the difference. He's an outside receiver, but can play inside. He's good with the ball in his hands on some rack stuff. But he's probably the best separator in the class.
Yeah.
We had a history of either getting the big body wide receivers that can't separate and got to be jump ball guys, or we got the little guys that can only operate inside. But now we got like a true legit burner. We tried to get that with Tyquan Thornton, but he was just too much of an outlier physically. Kyle Williams, while not the biggest, I still think has he got a football frame. He looks like a football player.
5'11", put on pads.
Yeah, 5'11", 190. He ran a 4.4 at the combine. He's faster than that. You can watch him and see he's faster than that. He could take a slant 50, 60 yards. So, I like that pick. Quiet as kept. Very sneaky good pick. Sent out of Georgia.
Yeah,
no more
that's a good
center,
pick.
Going into the draft. Raw at center, he only had 1 year at it, but center guard versatility. I don't think that they're 100% sold on Garrett Bradbury. I think that everybody that they've gotten so far offensively in the first 4 rounds, I think it's really going to be good for Drake May. That's the core to grow with. And this is what Mayo and Wolf tried to do last year, but I don't think that they.
I don't think there was a strong enough vision in place.
I think it was just we gotta get a lineman, we gotta get a wide receiver.
Yeah, there was no continuity and a plan. Like the players didn't go
Yes.
together. You had slot receivers with like a strong like it was a lot was nothing came together. So I think with Vrabel having a plan, it helps out a management team, it helps out a front office. Because
Everybody
now
has a
I
role.
know,
Do your job.
yeah,
All
I
in
know
a,
where I'm going.
right.
Instead of just drafting players like a dartboard, I know we're building this kind of offense. Okay, and I know I can scout players that fit this kind of offense. So now everything meshes in together.
And I think that we also had a little bit of draft luck of the best player being best player available, also being a need falling
A
to us.
lot.
I know
I would say
some
a
people
lot.
a
Hmm.
lot. Yeah, so some people they kind of complained about the running back going 38. Why didn't you take Luther Burden? Luther Burden isn't that good to me. And then
I
on
agree.
top of the he having work ethic concerns, he can be lazy on routes and stuff like that. I don't think that's something that we needed in the wide receiver room again, especially after everything that was going down last year, where everybody was talking about like, oh, uh, it's a ego wide receiver room and all the social media posts and everything else. Like,
TikToks
no,
and all that other stuff. Yeah.
yeah, no. Let's just get some people that's getting ready to come to work that are still good players, but I think they did a really good job of threading that needle of non issues,
And
not
that
just high
and that's
character
variable.
guys, but yeah.
That's variable. I mean, Vrabel had probably one of the quieter locker rooms in the league in Tennessee, with stars in the locker room. It wasn't like it was a bunch of bums running around. It was just one of the quieter locker rooms in the league.
I mean,
But
shit, AJ Brown on the team that's doing much better than Tennessee. We've never heard this much like
chatter,
conflict or chatter about AJ Brown, but we hear it almost every week on the Eagles, and they win a lot more. So
yes. Derrick Henry talked way more. I heard Derrick Henry's voice for the first time in Baltimore.
yeah,
Like I had no idea what he sounded like. Um, so that's a kudos to him, but it's also a respect to the thing that he grew up in the Belichick. Like Belichick for years had the quietest locker room in the league.
yeah.
So coming in from that tree, he's a guy that definitely took from that tree. Like you don't hear anything. I don't think I've heard a direct quote from a Patriots player since Vrabel got hired. Like
Yeah.
it's been
Outside of
articles
like, I've
or
seen
like
like certain interviews, but they're
I mean
just
like
saying that,
team outside of clearly scheduled interviews.
yeah,
Like there's been no pop off on Twitter. There's been no random Instagrams. There's been like none of that's happened.
nothing.
So that's kudos to Vrabel. You can tell definitely tell there's a plan this year. Like I love the Swinson pick. Like
I
I got
think that was one of the best value picks because you would think you'd be gone day two, third
I thought he
round
was a
at the
third round
latest.
pick. Yeah, I thought he was a
Yeah,
third round pick.
right. For
And
you
to
to get
get
him
him
in the
in the
fifth
what
round,
fifth? Yeah, like you stole him as a guy who could play 20 snaps for you at age day one.
right.
Or he's a hell of a special teamer.
I only have two critiques on the draft. Everything else I like about it because it shows it's a plan. They're good players with names. You can put a name to a face. You can go see they have a resume. You can see their production on them. But the only two gripes I have, you spend the draft pick on the long snapper. I don't care if it was the seventh. You spend one on the long snapper, and Joe Cardona is under contract for 2 more years anyway. I don't think that would have changed anything. Um, I didn't like that. You didn't draft a developmental tight end. I think that in a somewhat good tight end draft, and I know a lot of them kind of ran off the board, but I still think there were a couple of good players that you could have got in like the sixth, seventh round because you had like about 4 picks in those last 2 rounds. I think you could have got somebody else. But other than that, I'm
I
cool with
mean, I
everything.
would have liked. I wonder what the situation is with Kobe Bryant, the corner out of Kansas, because he was pretty good all season.
Yeah,
So, because when I heard we went, I think we ended up going corner for our last pick.
yeah. Kobe.
The other Kobe,
Uh,
yeah.
other, yeah, I forgot his name. Um,
Because
oh,
when I
Kobe
saw,
Minor.
yeah, when I saw Kobe, I thought it was Kobe Bryant from Kansas.
Me
I was
too.
like, hold up. I was like, we
Kobe
stole him
blue
in the.
jersey, but then he was
Yeah, I was
like
like, we
Kobe Minor
stole
out of
him from
Memphis.
the. I was like,
After I saw some of his
okay.
tape, I know why Vrabel picked him. He
I mean, I
basically a
don't.
safety.
I mean,
Yeah,
I'm not against it. He's a thumper, but
yeah,
I just thought we would have stole just to have again, like I said, developmental tight end, that developmental cover corner that he may not be ready right this second, but in next year, or whatever. He'd be ready to roll. That's how I thought they'd go with Kobe there.
What are some of your overall thoughts from the draft? I've seen a lot of people. This is like draft grade day. What are some other teams that you felt had a good draft, had a poor draft, some shocking things? We'll get to the Shador stuff in a second,
Yeah,
but
I was gonna leave Shador out of it. Um, Philly, I thought did a good had a good night. I thought Philly replaced a lot of what they lost. So they had a very need based draft, similar to our draft. Their needs fit best player available a lot of the time. They needed a defensive player. They went and got Jahad Campbell. They needed a corner of the DB. They had pretty good DBs left. Like they kept replacing whatever they lost. They lost the edge rusher. They filled it. They just replaced what they needed. Great draft. Two people I want to talk about having a bad draft, and not bad in the sense of what they got. I thought they could have done it better. Atlanta. I get you had an edge rush problem. You surrendered a 2026 first to draft your second edge rusher. Like it wasn't like you didn't have an edge rush to begin with. You already picked one
I think, yeah, especially in this draft at that spot,
with so many edges.
it's a
And it
lot. It
wasn't
was a
like
lot of good edges,
and it
and
wasn't
it
like you
wasn't like
traded
those
up
teams
to
were taking
like
them.
yeah, I was saying, and it wasn't like you traded up to like 15 or 10.
Trade
You
up to
traded up to the
25.
25 and you gave up a first in a hell of a draft class next year. Now, there's no receivers in that draft class next year. And they have no need for a quarterback, but that's gonna be a great O-line draft. It's gonna be an insane corner draft. Like you need a
E-
corner, next year's draft is gonna be
Even if you weren't going to
ridiculous
use your pick, that's the draft pick to trade out because
because you
somebody
don't
might
need the
pop in for a
quarterback.
quarterback. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So a quarterback rich draft. That's where you trade out.
So
So
you give up your first round pick next year, you lose all of your leverage 12 months in advance for your second edge.
I'm not going to necessarily say their second edge because I think Jalen Walker. I think they're going to let him be more inside. Um,
But you still
stand
give
up
up your
stand
first.
up linebacker, but that's a lot. And I know they had to be sick considering what New York gave up to trade back into the first round, like right after.
Take right after. And they'd have to give up none of that.
They was just like, yeah, here's like 2/3, and
It was like, you want to
Rams was
swap
like,
picks and I slide you a third? Rams was like, cool. But
cool.
we, you know us, we hate first round picks anyway. Um, so yeah, no, that was insane. And then Cincinnati, the whole draft hinges on Shamar Stewart.
Yeah,
So they were very need based. I get it. You just paid extensions to receivers for the first time since pretty much Chad Johnson. Um, like you got expensive really fast. You got a Trey Hendrickson problem. You lost Sam Hubbard to retirement. I get it. They had a very need based draft. This entire draft hinges on the fact that if Shamar Stewart can play or not. If Shamar Stewart can play, this is a hell of a draft. He did exactly what you're supposed to do.
the Bengals are definitely towards the bottom of what I considered because even if you got the Trey Henderson problem, I still wouldn't even take an edge first. One, because of how rich the edge class was,
I would
and
have took a
two,
tackle.
your Dolphin. I like Amarius Mims, and I think Orlando Brown, if he's healthy, he's good. So I think they could have been fine at tackle,
You
but
could have got Zabel at guard.
possibly Zabel at guard. But I'm not gonna lie, their defense fell apart the minute they lost Jesse Bates, and they had the opportunity to go get the best safety in the class by a lot,
Yeah,
and
they
they
didn't
let
do
him
it.
go to their division rival.
Who
They
already
let
have a
Baltimore
hell
go
of a
and
safety group.
they have the best. Baltimore now has the best secondary in the NFL, and if your thing is going to be throwing the ball, because another thing
You
that Cincinnati didn't do, they didn't really address the running back position. How it would um,
you might want to keep people from stopping your ability to throw the ball.
exactly. So now you just, yeah, like honestly, I think they set themselves up for failure. I don't see them even taking any step. Nothing they did in the draft makes me think that they're going to be better next year. Um,
Yeah, and they also didn't fire Zach Taylor, so they're gonna try to hold
this,
in three.
I know you hate that, but but like, damn, like even if them getting Jahai Campbell because Logan Wilson's getting older, they didn't do anything to
They didn't do
really,
anything productive. They
yeah,
basically drafted a in case pick. Because the Trey Henderson comes back, you just got a bonus edge.
Shamar Stewart has all the traits. I guess they're putting a lot of faith inside of Buddy from Notre Dame to really
Golden.
revamp that defense. Maybe they think that they have enough talent and it was just a scheme thing, but
I mean,
I
and
don't
also
know.
Dax Hill got hurt, so that didn't help.
Yeah, but I'm not about to hinge everything on a nickel corner.
Fair. I mean, Al Golden's a hell of a DC. Like I'm like he's not Brian Flores, but he's in that next tier of DCs. Because what he did at Notre Dame with not nearly the athletes most other schools have at that level was insane. He's been an NFL guy for a while. But class to me hinges on Shamar Stewart. If Shamar Stewart is 7.5, 8 sacks a year, great draft class. If he's 1.5, you're an idiot. I mean, like
Hey, he's
it's just
shown that he can't. He's shown
he's
that that's what
literally
he
one
is,
and
a
a half.
1.5.
Yeah, he's literally one
Because
and a
it's
half.
not even like Shamar Stewart. Like, and we said this on like the draft show. Not even like he was at like a Georgia or like a
Where they
Alabama where they just
rotated all
got
the
so
time.
much talent.
Or Texas had like
Yeah,
11 dudes they played on D line this year.
exactly. Like where it's like so much talent. Okay, you have to really watch him play to get it. No, you were supposed to be the guy. Like
And you got walled a
there
lot.
was no traits that jumped off. He had
There
a
was no
good
plan.
combine. The combine got him generational wealth. So shout out to Shamar Stewart.
Shout out to Mark Stewart. I ain't mad at you. Shout
Yeah,
out,
but
shout out you and your agent. But
yeah, the Bengals
uh,
did bad. I think a team that sneakily had like a very good draft was uh not sneakily, but the Seahawks. I really like what
yeah,
they did. I really like what they did. I'm not mad at the Milrow pick at all. I know I give Jalen Milrow a lot of shit, but I think
I'm
that
mad at what he said after.
I don't know what he said after.
Oh, you didn't hear? So he came on and was like, the Seahawks told him in their interview that he was their best quarterback on the board. And so they asked the GM, and the GM was like, nah, we didn't say that. And like
Yeah,
on
gotta be on
camera
the
in an
same
interview
page.
was like, nah, he didn't say
Gotta be on the same page, man.
that.
Gotta be on the same page. Media training 101. But nah, I think that they have no long term plans with Sam Darnold. And even if they do, let's say Sam Darnold last year wasn't a flash in the pan. And they was like, okay, maybe we can go forward with Sam Darnold. You got a good athlete that you can turn to developmental prospect. I think Clint Kubiak, coming from the Shanahan tree, had Derek Carr looking great before the Saints got mauled. You know what I'm saying?
Literally
So
destroyed.
yeah, so I think that's gonna be good development for him. I like this draft mostly though, because this draft was Mike McDonald coded. You know, I think this was last year. He just pretty much inherited the Seahawks,
Yeah,
Pete Carroll's team. I think this draft and really
this is
this
his team.
offseason is like, okay, he's molding it into his vision. And I'm excited to see that because he's a damn good coach.
Very much so.
Uh, I don't think they missed the beat since Pete Carroll. The offense kind of fell off a little bit, but they also lost Shane Waldron. And I think you can only get so much out of a Geno Smith, just like I think you can only get so much out of Sam Darnold. But I think they did a good job kind of replacing the pieces that they needed. Um, they got one of my favorite players in the draft, Nick Warney.
Yeah, that's
Um,
a hell of a pick.
I think that was a great pick. Gray's able, versatile offensive lineman. They're going to run that wide zone. He's the best zone blocker in there. So yeah. Really like what they did, and I like what the Giants did. I'm not gonna lie, I do like what the Giants did. I'm higher on Jackson Dart than you are, but
Yeah,
I
I'm
love
not.
Abdul Carter. I love Abdul Carter. Um, Scatterbo, while overrated, I think it's a good two back system. And I
Yeah,
think that this was a draft of a lot of players that good
the,
players that
the
can come
Packers did
play.
pretty good too. I like what the Packers
I'm
did.
I'd be so 50-50 with the Packers because you be like, man, Packers had a good draft. And then you never hear from those players again.
They never. But then there's some magical other player that just appears on that roster. You're like, when did you get him? Oh, he's
Okay,
been there 3 years.
last year, the Packers drafted a tackle in the first round. Jordan Morgan or
Yeah, that was
something
the
like that.
last. I
He played
think.
like
I
two.
think. I was about to say. I think him being drafted and you saying his name was the last time I heard it.
Exactly. But guess who was like a standout young tackle for the Packers this year? Zach Tom, who apparently
Yeah,
has been on the roster for like two
like
or
three
three
years.
years.
Yeah, they just
Yeah,
sit there.
yeah. And so it's like, I guess they had a good draft. I don't know. We'll know next presidential election if they had a good draft.
We be like, hey, that 25 draft, them niggas
Hey, yeah,
nice.
that guy was good. They did get wide receiver one, which is this is the first time in like 20 years they drafted a wide receiver in the first round.
Somewhere
Which,
Aaron Rodgers punched the air.
and I'm
Like,
not gonna
yeah,
lie, they didn't want to draft him.
they didn't.
I'm 100% believing that they would have drafted. I think they would have drafted tight end. I think
Oh
that's what
yeah,
they
no.
wanted.
If either tight end was still there, they were going tight end.
I don't
Which
see them going
which
wide receiver.
which the tight end from Michigan went going first was interesting over Tyler Warren.
Where he went made it okay.
Chicago,
You
right?
know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Yeah, that's
Ben
true. He's a little
Johnson.
bigger and he blocks more. That makes sense. Yeah.
He doesn't block better, but I think Ben
He's blocked
Johnson
more.
with all his trickery, he's definitely blocked more playing for Jim Harbaugh. But
Because Michigan run that thing all
yeah,
the time. Mm.
yeah, and Loki, shout out to the Chargers. They had a couple of players that I like. Omarion Hampton, who
Yeah, Chargers
man,
was nice. That's a
Najee
hell of a
can't
pick
catch
with
a fucking
Harbaugh.
break.
Yeah, Najee. Every time Najee get there, there's a new hot shot running back join him.
Exactly. I like Trey Harris. I thought that's who we were going to take at 38, honestly. But I like Trey Henderson. Trey Henderson is a better player, but I was thinking wide receiver wise, I thought we were going to get Trey Harris. But hey, I'm glad we don't have another guy that has separating issues. So
Facts.
yeah. All right, man. Put your dukes up.
All right, let's do this. That's what this show is
Shadur's
built around.
prime time fall.
It's an
So tell
all-time
us
episode.
what happened, man. What happened?
All right, so I mean, we all know the facts. Shador saying it was a projected top 10 first round pick at the worst. It was one of his like he was the first round pick at the worst, top 10 pick later in the draft, especially after Derek Carr got hurt by the Saints. Many mock drafts hurried up and adjusted and thought he would be the number 9 overall pick to the New Orleans Saints. Apparently, and I'm just going off video. Dion probably thought the same because a video came out right after the draft showing that Shador is SHE, by the way. Um,
Oh, yeesh.
it's a video came out
And you said baby
right
prime.
a video came out right after the draft, right after the first round, that when the Saints picked Kelvin Banks at number 9, Dion kind of just put his head down, shook his head, and then told him to turn the music back up. Um, which made me believe in that moment, why is there an A there? Just take the A
Wait,
out. There's no
you
A
said
in there's
it's
no S
oh, it's
H
no
E.
A.
There's no A.
Oh,
Yeah.
copy. Oh man, damn. I told you I had a surprise.
But hey, Black's
Ladies and
here.
gentlemen, we got special
What's up,
coming in
guys?
from Black. Welcome to the JCS After Dark, Black. What's happening?
Hey, ain't much. Thanks for having me, fellas.
Hey man, welcome in.
No problem, no problem, no problem.
Yeah,
So look,
it's,
we was
it's a
just getting a
snazzy
little
setup y'all got here.
we were
Thank you,
just
man. We were introing the Shador situation.
Oh, perfect. My favorite. I will listen.
all right.
So, but yeah, so again, like I said, the video comes out that Prime shaking his head right after Kelvin Baines goes 9, and then the fall from grace begins. The Giants straight up 25. Personally, I'm not gonna lie, I got excited. So this is it. He's going 25, gets to go to New York. He had the Giants cleats. It's gonna be a whole thing. And then it's Jackson Dart. And so, Thursday comes and goes. Shador does his performance, blah, blah, blah. We get to Friday. I'm thinking, okay, I'm looking at New Orleans at 40. I'm looking at Vegas early in the late 30s. It's going to be one of those situations. New Orleans drafts a quarterback. It just happens to be the man who's damn near my age, Tyler Shaw, um, out of Louisville. Vegas proceeds to not draft the quarterback at all, and the fall from grace continues. We go all the way down to Saturday, and he goes pick 144 to New Orleans, as QB6 behind the following: Cam Moore, Jackson Dart, Tyler Shaw, Jalen Milrow, and Dylan Gabriel, who also happens to be drafted by the Cleveland Browns in the third round, to which I have no comment on at all. But that is the situation there. Now, what personally I think happened, I don't think, and I kind of worked through this on the audio show as well. My first brain was collusion, but that was conspiracy theory mode. My second brain is if you don't have him as a first round grade, and I heard it with Tebow, heard it with Manziel, you don't want a celebrity backup quarterback. It just gets awkward for everybody involved. Because the second the starter plays bad, it's chant city. And it's really hard, confidence wise, for the starter to throw an interception in a close game. And the chance for Shador with a whole bunch of number 2 jerseys are everywhere in the crowd.
Shout out to Zappy Hour.
Yeah. I mean, at a certain point, as Page fans, we seen it. Mac Jones started screwing up, and Bailey Zappi was the most popular man in Boston, not named Jason Tatum. I mean, it was rough. So, I mean, Black saw it with the Ravens. Flacco screwed up, and Lamar Jackson was like Superman. Like, I don't even like. It doesn't even matter who he is. Get him on the field. What's his face for the Cowboys? That was behind that. Cooper Rush was like clamored for by Dallas media. For a while. So you don't want to slay back a quarterback. I think the only team to me that didn't make sense was New Orleans. Because you picked the guy, right? You picked the guy that you're going to put in the competition. It just out of your options was the wrong guy. Um, I'm not going to argue Cam Ward. You can sell me Jackson Dart. I won't buy it, but you can sell it to me. None of the others make sense, except for Milrow to Seattle, because you don't want that behind Sam Darnold. If you have
And
two
well,
offensive,
Milroy, it has the most athletic upside. This
exactly.
is where this
He's
is where I
instant
want
read
to
option.
this is where I want to jump in because I said whenever we talked about Shador way back, even before we did the mock draft episode, and you and Jamil was fighting me on this. I said he's the best quarterback in the country, but he has no elite NFL traits. He's about 6'1". He's not tall. He's not big. He doesn't have a big arm, and he's not very mobile. He's NFL average mobile. He'd be a dual threat quarterback in like 2003, but in 2025, he's not mobile. He's a good processor. He's a good decision maker. He doesn't have a history of winning games. It's fact.
Okay. So
They,
sell me Tyler Shaw.
I'm not
You know
selling you
what?
Tyler,
This is
but
this is this
Tyler
is
Shaw has a giant. Tyler Shaw has a big arm, and you can go trade. He's big. He has a big arm. People are trying to give Jackson Dart the Josh Allen comp. Tyler Shaw is the Josh Allen comp, but like way worse, right?
Tyler Shaw the same age as you.
And so I know I'm talking about the traits though. And again, I'm not saying Shador should have been picked behind Tyler Shaw, but I'm saying you said something earlier. If he's not a first round grade on him, it's hard to justify picking him. Is that fact or fiction? He had no first round traits, and unless you were a team that was either going to be you got a veteran quarterback, which is why I always said a team like the Rams should get him, or maybe the Niners or somebody,
I,
somebody
I,
that
I thought
that you can
Rams, Saints, and
plug in.
Vegas were his 3 spots.
He has a
So
very
that was,
high floor, and so I thought you could plug him in somewhere. But I think that if you are a team that's looking for your quarterback of the future, and you didn't have a first round grade on him because he doesn't have first round traits in a bad draft class, he was gonna slip. Now, him slipping to the fifth round, I think that wasn't about football. I think
that
him
was not
slipping to
about
the fifth
football at all.
round because they thought that he was an asshole. I'm not saying it's justified, but I think they thought he was an asshole. And he was kind of moving like that because he was moving like he was Deion Sanders.
nah facts.
I
Everybody else,
mean,
Jackson
he
Dart,
moved
Tyler Shaw,
fairly
Will Howard,
outrageously.
all them niggas threw. The only two quarterbacks that didn't throw was Cam Ward
Cam
and
Ward and
Shador
Shador.
Sanders.
I was about to
Cam
say
Ward got
Shador
gifts
didn't
that
even
Shador does not have.
Shador didn't even do an interview outside of the top 5 picks.
I thought that was Abdul Carter.
No,
He definitely he
Shador
definitely did some.
also
He
no,
definitely
he
did with
did. He ended up going to New Orleans.
oh gosh. Oh, that's not froze. He'll come back. Black, you still?
Yes, I am, and I have
All right,
thoughts
all
too. And
right.
these are
Turn up,
my
turn up.
thoughts. I just feel like you know this story isn't even about Shador for me. I mean, it is, you know, and it's sad that he got that lashing on national television.
A
I
lashing. Chill,
Yeah,
Umar.
nah, yeah, it felt like a lashing. That's what it felt like. But I think it's more funny that he couldn't have went to a more fitting team than the Cleveland Browns. It's like they don't get enough of the shit show. It's like just when you think they could like wipe their ass with toilet paper, they say no. More
They go
shit,
use their hand.
more shit. It's just more shit all over the place. It just keeps shitting and shitting and shitting, and they just don't stop. They just don't stop shitting, and it's really frustrating because they, not only was him making him as a pick, and look, this is nothing to do with Shador because, I mean, I think he's at least worthy of a chance to play in the NFL. You feel me? And
Absolutely.
I feel like he'll do. I feel like
I
he'll do
think
a
he's
pretty
an
good job.
NFL quarterback. He's a solid
Hell
starter.
yeah, you damn straight. But they just find a way to make the shit awkward. Like
Yeah.
they don't get a fucking enough. Not
They
only
didn't
did
want
it
to draft
have
me.
Deshaun Watson on the fucking on the shit, and that's a whole nother thing. They said, you know what? Let me here's two more for you, and they get fucking what's the guy from Oregon name?
Hill and Gabriel.
They get the Gabriel nigga, and they say, no, we're not done. Because yeah, we don't know what the fuck we got with Deshaun anymore. But we're gonna get Gabriel. They got Flacco too, right?
Flacco,
Yes.
Gabriel, and
Yeah, they got
Casey.
See,
Flacco, and they say, nah, fuck it. Just for shits and gigs, let's get Shador in the fifth and just like they could have avoided that. They could have just avoided that. Like
I
I don't
don't
even.
think they could have.
Yeah, they could
And
have.
no,
Like,
the reason why I say that is that wasn't a GM pick. That was the owner making that pick.
no, I
I
agree
have
with that
never
too.
seen a
I agree
less
with that too
excited group of
because
individuals in my life.
at a certain point, like shit got to a point in that room. Like they were the most least unenthusiastic people
Bro,
that I've ever
they were sitting
seen,
there like this.
and that was even pushing it. That was even pushing it.
Like I've seen war rooms go crazy for like the 260th pick. Like, oh my god, I can't believe we got such and such. We had them ranked
Nah,
180. Hell of a draft, guys.
like
And they were
talk
like,
about value, man. They got a hell of a value, and but seriously though, it's just it gets to a point, bro. Because let's say Shador isn't the option. He got as big as a personality with the last guy that they shipped out, which was Baker Mayfield, and they didn't like
Johnny Man,
him
they really went
for
Johnny
the
and Johnny
Manziel, Baker
Manziel.
and then Johnny
Mayfield. What you
Manziel.
do?
It's like they go Johnny Manziel, Baker
Baker
Mayfield,
Mayfield.
Deshaun
Yeah,
Watson,
that's true.
Shador
They did
Sanders.
trade.
Can
They did
you
trade for a guy
just
with
get
26 active sexual assault allegations.
like what
Like,
about like and I like why not just like that's the time where you just get like just a regular just get a regular. I can't even say it like because it sounds just like kind of fucked up. But just get a regular white guy and just relax for a little bit. Like you don't have to be good, but just get out of some fucking controversy for like a couple seconds. Get a white guy that he went to fucking like I don't know Georgia Tech or like Cal or some shit. He's not gonna be good, but at least like just stop.
He's
Just have
cool. He's just a cool guy.
he just
Like
hanging out.
just
He ain't causing
like
no
get
problems.
it like they're the niggas that should have been all in on Kirk Cousins because shit. Like, just get some normalcy for like 5 minutes. Like, we don't like enough is a fucking enough, and that's my problem, dog. Because they got it. They just bought 2 more years of some bullshit. And look, hopefully Shador is the answer to their problems, but and they created more bullshit because it could have been like a little bit less bullshit if it's the Deshaun Watson Flacco era transition into the Shador era. But then just for shits and gigs, they also added the other guy. So just like a whole thing. And it's like that's just the most Cleveland Brown shit I've seen, and I love it for them. Ravens and fives.
Okay, I just want to start off by I just want to start off by saying, Black, you are invited on whenever you want from here on out.
Why? Thank
Um,
you.
it's 'cause that that's a top three JTS after dark rant, like literally ever. Outside of my Zach Taylor rant, because that goes down in
Well,
history.
look, I got 5 more, so tell the audience get ready, man.
That's a top five. That's top three JTS after dark rant of all time. I honestly, here's the thing. I went into Saturday going, okay, well, Cleveland drafted Gabriel. So there is no way that they're gonna draft Shador. Like they were already out of my brain. I said Vegas might do it, sit him behind Gino. He's in a solid spot. I said no way New Orleans does it. They just got Tyler Shaw. Like, you know, when the pick was in, ESPN like up a graphic of him and with the Browns. And I was like, what in the world? And so, dude, I was in there watching it with, he was like, wait, did you see that? And I was like, unless I was tripping, that was Shador on the Brown screen. And in my head, I'm like, that's going to be a funny blooper in 5 months whenever somebody plays it back to ESPN to the Browns. And then they actually announced him to the Browns. And I don't understand. You have a quarterback making 44 million who won't play for you because he has torn Achilles again. Joe Flacco is older than LeBron. You
Yep.
got Kenny Pickett, who wasn't
Wait,
good
they
at
got Pickett too?
literally any point.
Yep. Baby hands.
Yeah.
Yo, what the fuck is wrong with these guys, man?
Then you draft the small, and it's gonna sound bad, but you draft a small white guy on his third school, Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah. Dylan Gabriel has like
Bro.
He
he's
has a
like
less
small
NFL traits
Shador.
than Shador has. Yeah,
Exactly.
like, and
He's
then
like
you
Bryce
draft
Young, but
Shador.
without like any of like the Bryce Young pedigree.
He's
They didn't
Bryce
want to
Young,
draft
but like an inch
Shador.
taller.
They didn't want to draft Shador, and I think that Shador probably got some bad advice from his father, um, who tried to
Probably should have used
abandon the
that 50
situation. But
eligibility.
here's the thing: if Shador, and I just don't want to put it on, because I see a lot of people, a lot of black people, we like to say, well, they drafted Johnny Manziel. I don't think teams want to do that shit again. If he was like Johnny Manziel, like I think they
they
don't
don't
want to do it again.
they don't like committing the same
Oh,
error that many times already.
oh, Baker Mayfield was cocky. Baker Mayfield had a fucking rocket on his arm. I saw Baker Mayfield in
Baker,
person go toe to toe with Patrick Mahomes in college, and they combined for almost 1,000 yards, over 1,000 yards
correction,
actually,
they combined for more than 1,000 yards. Yeah, because
and like
Pat went for
13
six something and
touchdowns.
Baker went for 15 for five something.
Yeah, so
And
it
that was young
was
Baker. That was Baker like in his early years.
exactly. So I think if you have something like that, if Shador had the exact same ability as Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels, and he went in there and did all that bullshit, guess what? He'd still be a top five pick.
We're definitely not having this conversation. I would say, yeah, we're not having this conversation.
But you don't. He didn't have the ability to do what he did. Travis Hunter did, and even he
He
was
didn't do any
like
of
he didn't do
that.
any of that. And so, while I don't think that you should just kowtow, I do think that you know you gotta know, you gotta have a realistic view
It's
of
still a
yourself. I
job
don't want to say
interview.
realistic. I don't want to say
It's still a
realistic,
job
but I think
interview.
you gotta know where you stack up in the market. You know what
Well,
I'm
not
saying?
even that. But nigga, it's still a job interview.
It
Like at the
is,
end of the day, like I could be the
but
most
like,
qualified person on the planet, but if the motherfucker don't like me, I'm probably not getting the job.
and if
But I
they
ain't gonna
already think
lie.
of you as a backup, but Monty Jones said this. He was like, "Yo, the number one trait that a backup quarterback can have is being likable, because your job is to keep the locker room cool, is to keep the nigga that they actually want to play, make sure shit's cool with him. That's the number one job of a
Yeah.
backup. That's why all the backups be like good guys."
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I feel all that. I agree with all that. But
Like guys you would love to pass in Walmart and be like, yeah, he's a hell of a guy.
I feel like the NFL did too much though. I ain't gonna lie to you. They were doing a little too much for my liking.
I blame
Look,
ESPN for it because the coverage of it.
yeah, but nah,
They
bro. I
look,
blame the Saints. I blame the Saints. I don't
Fifth
the
care.
round
Saints
I
was
blame.
never going to take him. I
I don't
think
thank
care,
you.
bro.
they made that
I don't
pretty clear.
care. Cause what's that guy's name? Tony. What's his name? Snow.
Tyler Shook.
Whatever his name is. What are we doing?
Yeah,
Nah, cause at a certain point, it just gets to a certain point. I ain't gonna lie. At that point, like,
Tyler Shaw.
bro, let's
Tyler,
be real. That's the last time we're gonna hear that guy's name.
No, it's not. You
Shaw.
might start.
actually, no, it's not because the Saints starting quarterback options is either Tyler Shaw or Spencer Rattler. So
The rat shit.
50-50.
Man, that 20. They drafted a 20. How many schools he play for?
3 schools, 7 years. He's 25 years old.
Come on,
He's had
dog.
more seasons in with injury than he's had with
I'm just
3,000.
saying, bro. Like that guy.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yards.
But we'll see. We'll see.
Not 4,000. 3,000.
Listen, man, Shador. I think you're probably gonna win that backup job in camp. And I think the Browns are gonna suck this season. So at some point, we're probably gonna see you start probably after Thanksgiving. So yeah, I think everybody get what they want. Plus, there's gonna be pressure from the fan base, from just the national fan base to want to go see Deion Sanders' son play. So if y'all already not doing good, they're gonna want you. The players. This is very reminiscent of how people talked about Malik Willis whenever he fell in the draft. You remember that, Black?
Oh yeah, I remember.
Like how because I remember even what's buddy name, Ryan Tannehill. He was like, yeah, it's not really my job to you know mentor him, and then
Yeah, I ain't
everybody
gonna
was like,
lie.
I
I
hope he
like
take
when
his job.
I like when the white boys get a little sassy like that, though.
Yeah, bro. Like, bro,
I like when they
how
get a
the
little
reporter just
sassy.
gonna be like, hey, so you ready to help this nigga take your job? And Ryan Tannehill like, no,
Nah, stand up.
like
But
nah, what's
hey,
wrong with you?
I ain't gonna lie. Did you see the after party?
I did.
It's looking like Young Miami about to swoop in. But it's so
Nah, bro.
funny because it's
Shensia over
like
there, bro. It's over with.
I
Shensia over
seen
there. You ain't beating that.
I seen they had a club, they had the whole club, the bottles, but it was just so funny because it said fifth round. It just it just looked a little bit a little bit off. But shout out to that boy, man. Shout out
I
to
mean,
that
it is
boy.
still a blessing regardless. You know what I'm saying? Getting drafted in the NFL, the opportunity to play in the NFL. The league is made up full of third, fourth, and fifth rounders anyway. So
I'm gonna say half the league's undrafted.
yeah. So like you just gotta do something with your opportunity once you get there. You feel me?
Hell yeah,
So
man. Shout out to Shador.
yeah. Well, let's get to why Black really want to get here, man. Playoffs, man. The NBA playoffs as my Miami Heat is getting thrashed right now.
Punished.
Uh,
Pulverized.
he's, I feel fucking embarrassed. I don't even want to talk about them niggas, man. But let's
We
do
get
some
down
rapid
57 points in a
fire.
playoff game.
Let's do some rapid fire on like the bum teams. So we got the Heat losing by like
The,
60.
the Grizzlies lost by 60 already, so
The
we're
Grizzlies
not
lost by
alone.
60. They swept. They gone after
Yeah,
Lou
get them out of
Dort
here.
took out Ja midair. Are the Grizzlies done? Like, is this
Yes,
like era of the Grizzlies? Like, are we gonna see like major changes? Is it over with for them?
yes.
I ain't gonna
It's
lie.
over.
Blow that
Ja
team up. Blow that team
Ja's
up.
being traded. From what I've been hearing for the past couple of months, Ja's been as good as gone for the past couple of months. The
Yeah, blow that.
organization is trying to build around Jaren Jackson. I don't know
Why?
why.
It shoot like a
Ah,
girl.
yeah,
That's not like
yeah.
an insult, but I mean like literally, like he be shooting
He
like
has the
how
same
girls
form
do
as
like
Maya
the little
Moore. Yeah, no, I
They just
agree.
yeah,
need to blow
do
that
like
team up, bro.
He has the same shooting form as Maya Moore, but they are attempting to build around. That's what I've been hearing for the past couple of months. That they're going to try and build around Jaren Jackson in the offseason.
okay. Um,
So yeah,
Celtics Magic series. That's
that's
so
been
boring.
entertaining
It's boring
Shout
as
out to
entertaining
Paolo.
though.
Shout out to Paolo.
because it's like it's Paolo by itself. He's Paolo fighting the
No, no,
Avengers.
no. Franz Wagner.
Oh, and Franz Wagner. I forgot about
He
Franz
lost
Wagner.
his fucking shot. He used to have a strap, and I don't know what happened. Like he just can't shoot right now.
He lost the Magic, man.
Skadoosh. He said, "You love this
Um,
fucking guy." Black, how you feel about the Celtics?
Elaborate.
How do you feel about the Celtics? How do you feel
how
like
do you
they
feel
how
about
you
the
like
Celtics
that
so
they've been
far in this
playing
postseason?
in the postseason?
Um, I feel as though Derek White is a strong leader, and I look forward to seeing him take them to the championship.
Not Jalen Brown, not Jason Tatum, who's leading
No,
them if they win champ.
I like that White Brown duo.
Yeah,
I think I think that's a strong pairing, and I think they'll lead them to a Eastern Conference championship for sure.
The thing, what I feel bad about is when he said White, I forgot about Derek White, and my brain went to Peyton Pritchard.
that's crazy.
S- So that happened. Um, is that all for the East? Oh, Pacers and the soon to be Antetokounmpo
That's a
versus
boring
Bucks.
series. Jesus
I
Christ.
got it to
I
sneak
ain't gonna
first.
lie. Don't I hate them boring ass because I don't give a fuck if you the winning team. You gotta go too. Cause both of y'all
Yeah.
niggas just make me mad. I don't wanna watch
Nobody
y'all.
wants to see the Pacers and the
Bro,
Bucks
Respectfully,
Pacers
finals.
get the
Cavs
fucking
next
Bucks
year.
out of here. Like y'all,
Bro,
who the
it's gonna
fuck
be
are y'all,
Pacers. It's gonna
man?
be
Get
Pacers
the
Cavs next round.
get the
That's
Pacers
gonna be
out of here too.
exciting.
Niggas don't want to see y'all niggas,
Nobody
That's
man.
gonna
want to
be.
see you, Halliburton. I'm sorry. Even though
That
you look
nigga,
like that nigga Speedy, you're not as cool as
However,
Speedy, bro. I'm sorry.
however, Giannis is probably last game on the Bucks is in a couple days, so we
No,
should
it's
all
not, bro.
watch the game. We should all.
Who can get him, bro?
Brooklyn, you heard it here first. Remember,
Why?
remember I told you.
Why? Why would
Remember I
Brooklyn
told you
do that? They don't have
I ain't
no
gonna
because
lie. I
shooters.
want to see him lead the Bucks too, bro.
The only
I want
place
to
he
see
would
him.
go to
it's
that
all
makes
about them.
sense is Houston.
Yo,
Either one.
what
Either
happened to
Brooklyn.
Dame, man? I
He
was
He
played
excited
five,
tore.
10
about
games. He
that.
broke his Achilles.
He
That
tore his
nigga's washed.
Achilles, and he's
Damn, bro.
34, so that's pretty
It's
much
over
it.
with. It's
Yeah.
over with.
He
Um.
was better off just staying in Portland, huh?
I'll never
Damn.
You know
forgive
what's
Portland not
crazy?
trading him to Miami.
I like just had this conversation with somebody, and their exact words were, "Dame's gonna get the wrap of he should have just stayed." Which every other star gets the "you should leave," but because he got hurt and didn't work, he's gonna get the "you should have just stayed" rap. And
I
Nah,
ain't
I
gonna
ain't gonna
lie.
lie. He should have just stayed. Fuck it. I ain't gonna lie.
This is the
Cause
most
it's
Doc
fucked up.
Rivers
Cause we
team
always
ever.
like, damn, man. Like, damn, get out of there. Get you a chip. Why you being so loyal? But it's like you
he
should have just
still
stayed.
didn't want to get traded. Like
He wanted to get
Portland forced
traded.
his
He didn't want to
hand.
get traded to Milwaukee.
Well, Portland forced his hand too. They kind of drafted the nigga back up and was like, "Yeah." like he kind of draft my heir apparent and was like, eh, "You could say, but like."
And he sucks too.
Yeah, he's bad. But all them G League niggas the same way.
Nah.
All them G League Ignite niggas
I'm
just
in
jump.
Thompson.
He's just athletic. He can't shoot.
Stop it.
Like,
So
Hey man, look, I'm gonna tell y'all this. You heard it here first on your show. That Amen nigga, he gonna be a superstar.
thanks.
cause Asur is low key the same way.
Next Kawhi Leonard.
He just don't get the rep that a man does. But Asur nice as fuck too.
Well, that's because a man has to do more for his team than a sword does.
Yeah, because
Mhm.
Asur nice as hell. But
Because
again, neither one
yeah,
of them can shoot. Jalen Brown's from the G League Ignite. He still can't shoot.
mm,
They athletic as hell though. They can jump. But like them G League niggas
uh,
is just athletic as fuck.
Rockets and Warriors play tonight. Warriors got a chance to go up 3-1. Rockets got a
That's a
chance to
fun one.
tie.
That's been a fun one.
Yeah,
And
I like that series. I
Yeah,
like
I
that's
that.
been a
like
fun
it
one.
because I ain't gonna lie, I kind of miss Steph Curry shooting niggas face off.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
bro.
Uh,
is. It's
We
Jalen
rare
Green
gonna
that
had
get
that
that.
happening to your
Jalen
team
Green had that one good game, but he's like, I ain't gonna lie,
because
it's
he's a
time
Ignite
for
player.
it. Jalen Green. Jalen Green is a souped up J.R. Smith.
And honestly, depending on the J.R. Smith, he ain't that souped up.
Loki. He might
Because
just be
Denver
J.R. Smith.
J.R. I was like Denver J.R.
Jalen Green might just be J.R. Smith. Like he J.R. Smith with he's J.R.
with more
Smith if
hair.
J.R. Smith was ever the first option. That's
Yeah,
it.
I said Denver J.R. Smith. They ain't that far apart.
He's J.R. Smith. Shout out my
Um,
boy Shingun, the librarian. Draymond's a dirty player, and I like Draymond. You know I like Draymond a lot, but I think it's
you
about
do.
time to say he's a dirty player. He got
I
Jimmy
feel
hurt
like
because
he
he
is,
he need
but
to
it
stop
is
putting his
what it
hands
is.
on niggas.
I
But
mean,
that's my nigga though.
I feel like 4 injuries he caused to go probably should have been time, but that's neither here nor there.
I ain't gonna lie. I feel
Uh,
like the league needs a dirty player though.
Of
okay,
course,
Okay.
But it's okay because he don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like he not
Respect
one of
that.
them getting their feelings. Like I don't
Let's see.
call me dirty. The most fun series Clippers and Nuggets.
No,
Like
no, 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 no. I got a whole thing for them. Clippers and Nuggets and Lakers and Timberwolves. I got a whole thing
Lakers
for
and
them.
Timberwolves have also been fun. I
All
mean, those are
right.
the last two
So,
series because who cares about?
nah, Knicks and Pistons.
I
That
can't get
series has
into
turned
that.
into a fun one, though. I ain't gonna lie.
You know what's crazy? The refs have inserted themselves too much into the series, though.
Yeah,
I
and
don't like
that's
that.
what's bothering me about the series because I didn't really care about it to begin with,
In the
and then I
game that the
kind of
Pistons won, the refs was trying to do everything to help the Knicks come back.
and the Pistons held on to it. Yeah,
And then that last one, of course, they got the controversial call down the end. I still think that Tim Hardaway should just try to shoot the ball instead of jumping in the niggas, but that's just me.
I
Um,
mean, you can say that, but then the ref came out right after the game and was like, "Yeah, we totally blew that call. He should have shot free throws."
oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, like right after the game, the ref was like, "Yeah,
I know
I
that's
don't know."
embarrassing. Jalen Brunson cold. I will say that.
That
But
nigga
as cold
Cat
as
was on
Jalen
one
Brunson,
last night too.
I'm
Shit.
about to say as cold as Jalen Brunson is, I
I
think
was like,
Cade still Cade might be the best player in the series.
Cade nice
Um,
as fuck because he ain't got if he
Shout out
had
to
a
Cat.
cat,
Shout out to Cat. I think he needed a series like this after everybody kept calling him pussy for like his whole life.
still
So
is.
Yeah, calling that nigga Big Purr. Oh my god. Yeah, he needed this. He needed this bad,
I mean,
man.
Cade
he needed
Cunningham's
this.
second best player is either Tim Hardaway or Tobias Harris or Dennis Schroeder. You can choose. And the fact that he's been knocking on the doorstep of potentially being up 3-1 himself,
By
like
himself.
by himself, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah. So
So I guess we go to the two series in the West. The
yes.
ones who gonna play each other. The winner of these two series will play each other.
I think the winner of
Uh,
these two exactly. I think the winner of these two series is going to the Western Conference Finals. I don't
I
think.
mean,
Well,
no,
I'm not gonna
I'm
say.
well, yeah.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go to the Lakers. All right, that boy Ant.
I gotta give him credit. Every every rising star has that moment. Um, for Jordan, it was finally beating the Pistons. For Magic, it's the hook shot in game one in the finals. For LeBron, it's a 25-point straight against Detroit. Kobe, it's the lob to Shaq, ironically. Um, yeah, it was. It was the moment.
Kobe, Kobe rising star moment. It's a pass. Everybody
It,
else
I,
was
it was. That was his big moment. That was his early moment. You get Kawhi with his playoff run with Toronto. To me, that was his like creme de la creme run. Everybody has their moment. You're about to bury the king. I mean, like, there's no. This is probably LeBron's last best shot at it.
the king and the prince because
And
Ah,
everybody
for
Luca.
had
sure.
Luca.
They getting
Everybody
both of
and
them.
their mama had Luca as like, oh, he's really the best player, something like that. Luca over
Hey,
Tatum and Shea and all them niggas. Ant is saying, no, nigga,
Ant
I'm
about to
better than
bury him.
Luca.
Ant
I ain't gonna
and
lie.
Nas Reed. Sorry, Ant
Con-
and Julius Randle.
Nas
Conversations
Reed,
are about to be had, man. Conversations are about to be had.
absolutely.
But I'm gonna warn the Timberwolves the same way I warn the Warriors. You're not gonna win game five. Let's just get that out your minds.
I don't
You
think
better
so.
win game six.
I don't think so. And this is why. I think JJ Redick is showing his greenness.
Yeah, because he that second half up.
I think he's tight. And JJ Redick didn't seem like the type to decompress.
He no, he's openly the type not to
So I
decompress.
feel like that he's wound up. I feel like having all this time off is not good. They would have been better off playing tomorrow
Yeah, the next day. Um, yeah,
because I
he
think
he showed his
he's wound up.
greenness, and I think he should have leaned on history in that second half. When you go up 10, you should have pulled out the old LeBron Cavs rotation, and no one's done it since Eric Spoelstra that first title run, where he plays 44 minutes, but you're still with the TV timeouts. So he still could have played 46 minutes, but about 45 seconds, you take a foul. You get them out into the third quarter, you let them sit, and then about a minute left in the fourth, a minute to
Steve
start the
Nash
fourth,
did it
you call a timeout.
in Brooklyn whenever that one Brooklyn playoff run whenever all them
With
niggas got hurt
KD.
and KD.
Yeah.
Steve Nash
So
was doing
KD
it.
played 45 minutes, but he was able to steal with quarterback and TV timeouts. And so 2 minutes go off the game clock, but it's really 15 minutes.
Right.
And I
Uh,
think that JJ didn't take advantage of those moments. I was screaming at my phone, like, dude, this call timeout now or take a foul, get them out. You got 45 seconds plus TV timeout plus the quarter break plus you call another timeout about a minute to the fourth quarter. You've stolen 15 minutes and he's only been off the court for 90 seconds to a minute and a half to 2 minutes. Instead, he ran them all through the fourth quarter, and it showed in the fourth quarter.
I ain't
Like,
gonna lie though, but like Ant having 40 wasn't even the most impressive part of that. Whenever he was breaking down the zone and finding teammates, he looked
Yeah,
like
bro.
LeBron.
Look,
He looked like LeBron. Everybody was
and
talking about like Jordan, but like he looked like LeBron the way that he was able to dictate the
and that
entire game.
and
I ain't gonna
that
lie.
to me, that gained a lot of respect from me with Ant because
Hell
he
yeah.
openly admitted after they hit him with the zone the first time that he was confused. He was like, every time I got the ball, they went to zone and it threw me off. So in his last game, JJ was like, well, shit, do it again. And every time they went to a zone, it was dunk, layup, dunk, three, dunk. And it was just like, okay, that doesn't work. And we can't guard him by ourselves. So either we gotta let all these shooters have open jumpers or Ant's going for 40. And Ant went for 40. So when you take your coaching cards out, I don't have a big, so I can't really go man on man. Because if it gets switched wrong, Austin Reeves on Gobert on the rim. That's a bad idea.
I don't think you can do that because Gobert barely played. That's how ass that nigga is. A team that don't play a center, they
You
still gonna
still
pull
can't
you
be on
off
the
the
floor.
floor.
Still can't be on the floor.
This
But I'm
nigga.
saying, so but even then though, but even though if
You know
if
what's
Reeves gets switched on Julius Randle under the goal and it's a rebound, that's still an awful scenario.
Go ahead, Black. Go ahead, Black.
I just think I just think that this series showed me that Luka Doncic, as great as he is, it might be
Oh,
time to have some conversations. Cause like, bro, in the playoffs, he's just not that guy. And not from a scoring standpoint. He gonna get it done on the scoring side.
you can't say that.
Hey Jai, I can
You
say what
can't
I
say
want.
that. No, you
I
can't.
can
No, you
Hey
can't.
Jai. No, one thing about me and my takes, I'm a fair man, and I admit when my takes were a little bit off. You
Because
feel
you
me?
were saying all last year. No, you said this 3 years ago. When
I know what I said.
3 years ago, whenever
And I'm here as a man to
whenever Luca
stand on what
won
I
one
said.
playoff series, you was like, "Ooh, playoff Luca crazy." Oh
And he
man,
is.
whenever he get to the finals, he
Respectfully,
got that thing in him to go to the final. He got that
look,
dog in
Jai,
him.
because
You can
look,
just
see,
tell.
this the thing, Jai, this the thing. You got to understand. When you watch these playoff series, you evaluate if niggas got that dog. And you get the benefit of the dog until you lose the benefit of the dog. You feel me? And look, I know that Luca never won a chip, but he had enough dog in him to be like, nah, this guy going to get it done eventually, someday, somehow. But look, man, I don't know what more you need to get yourself to a chip. You got out of you got out of bullshit ass fucking Dallas where you was the guy. Now you got the guy. You got LeBron, and you still the guy, and you can't find a way to get it done. I don't know, bro. At least the first series, you gotta take them niggas out. And I feel like Ant is showing niggas I'm the guy. I'm the face. He was looking like the face last year, but now he really looking like the face. And I'm excited to see Ant take the league over. I think Ant got a chance to be the face of this league, and it's crazy. They're playing Ian next to me. It's kind of fire. But they got a chance to take. He got a chance to take the league, and he's going to do it by wiping the king off the court and Luca.
I mean, it's that I said that fourth quarter was a show, and him slicing through the zone um has been a show as well. So kudos to the Timberwolves, man, but you got to finish them.
He
You
walked
know,
down KD last year.
and
He
he's
about to
walking
walk
down Braun
down
and Luka
Braun
this
and
year.
Brook. I mean Braun and Luca this year. If he plays
Hey,
Steph, which is more likely, if he beats Steph, Draymond, and Jimmy, if he wins the ring, I'm
if he
ready to
wins the
crown him the
ring,
best player in the league.
yeah, at that point, he's the best player in the NBA. Which I don't know what kind of tape delay they're gonna have to have on the microphone after the finals, but they got to figure it out.
Oh yeah, just go ahead and get that fine ready. Yeah.
Just go ahead and apologize in front and ahead of time. That's one of those like whatever he says does not reflect the views of the NBA.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and have that typed up, ready to go.
Yeah, nigga. What, what you talking about? All types of Atlanta niggas.
Yeah, yeah. Just go ahead and just go ahead and have that ready to go. But
Now,
let's move on to you guys' favorite player. Uh, Los
Kawhi
Angeles Clippers
Leonard
and the Denver Nuggets. Honestly, my favorite series so far.
for
I feel like
sure.
it's had everything. Like we had a buzzer beating dunk off of airball last game.
Yes,
Um,
that
that's
was crazy.
insane. Yeah, that's insane.
That was crazy.
Um, but it was one of those moments in NBA history, man. But we've had everything. We've had vintage Kawhi. We've had Kawhi look as good as he's looked probably since the Raptors days. We've had Jokic saying it's still his league. We've
We've had
had
James Harden that hasn't
J-
collapsed in the playoffs. We had like a
four good
translatable
games
James
of
Harden.
James Harden. Yeah, we've had Norman Powell
I hate that nigga.
take humongous shots. Zubac, man, Zubac is bowling up in these playoffs. Um, we've had Porter Jr. playing actually smart basketball. I don't know what's going on with Jamal Murray. I think he left his town in Canada.
I don't
Um,
know. He have one or two moments where it makes sense.
it's just like this has been a great series, and I said I mentioned on the audio show too, and I don't know if this is a take you've thought about. It's interesting watching Ty Lue, and I don't even know who the Nuggets coach is right now, but it is interesting watching them go
Jokic.
at it, pretty much. But it's interesting because there's no tendency. So like Malone for years was going to do certain stuff in certain spots. It's just every coach at a certain point, especially in the playoffs. I have a tendency. Like I'm gonna go to this. We're gonna run that. We're gonna do this. Jokic or whoever is running the team these days doesn't have that Michael Malone tendency. It may be similar. It may be of his philosophy, but if 88% chance you ran this pin down action to the corner in this scenario, and now it's a pin down action to the wing, that changes the whole defense up. So it's different scenarios of you're watching a live chess game where I don't know what your next move's going to be. So outside you have these players playing great, I don't know what you're going to do back to me. So it's been an insane series so far. So your thoughts on Clippers and Nugs?
I think that the Clippers could very easily have swept these guys, and I think that it's literally come down to late game situations. I think that in game one, how they were handling Westbrook and you know they let Westbrook go off. They kind of just fumbled game one in overtime. Kawhi was too passive. I think that was one that they could have had. I think the last one, the airball dunk, you just got boxed out. I think you came all the way back. I think that if you would have won in overtime, you would have killed them. I
I
think
agree.
just not boxing
I
out Eric Gordon. And I kind of get that on Ty Lue. Listen, I know Ben Simmons isn't a threat scoring, but you have nobody else on your team that's strong enough and big enough to deal with Aaron Gordon. In certain situations, you just got to have him out there just to make Aaron Gordon obsolete because Aaron Gordon is the most athletic player on the floor, just flying around, right?
yeah.
Derrick Jones, he's a little too he can jump as high, but he's a little too wiry. He can't do nothing with that boy. So I think that was on Tyler. I think that Kawhi gave them a Superman game, but I think he's kind of coasted in 3 or 4 games. Still playing well, but I think I think you're gonna see in games 5 and 6, he's gonna have a game similar to what he did to game 2 and just take it over. Because
But I
I don't
also
think they're gonna want
think
to go 7 with these guys.
But I also think he knows his body too, though. Because remember last playoffs, he went back to back Superman, and then he was gone.
True.
So I think he might have had that Superman game, and then woke up the next morning, and them knees was hurting. He was like, all
Possibly. Because they played
right.
they only had a day in between.
Yeah, the day between them knees might have been hurting, and he was like, okay, I'll play, but I can't
But
give you
they
what I
blew him
gave
out the next
you.
game. And
True.
so that kind of helped a little bit.
Yeah, but
I think he
still.
think he kind of coasting his time. I think he know when to press the button,
Yeah,
and I think
I think he's
next
won
game he's
enough.
gonna press the button for sure.
Yeah,
I think we're due for that. I don't see it going 7, but if it does go 7, it's a toss up at that point. You never really pick game sevens, you
never
know,
pick game sevens, man, because you're
especially with
tired.
two. You have
Two good
three.
teams.
You have three players that definitely go into the Hall of Fame playing right now. Jokic,
Yeah,
Harden, and Kawhi.
and
So
Kawhi. Yeah, those are slam dunk first ballot. We're not even going to debate it. Hall of Famers.
exactly.
Um,
So
like that, it's a game seven. I've seen you 7 times in 15 days. You know what I'm saying? So, or 17 days in the first round. So, who knows how this game's going to look? We're dead tired at this point
I think it'll be a bad look for Ty Lue if
to go
he
seven
loses
with
to
an
a
interim
team.
coach.
He loses to a team with an interim coach.
Hell, go seven.
Yeah, because he is
Like,
too good of a coach for that. And I know it's on the players, but I do think there's some more adjustments that need to be made. I do like how he's been defending Jokic. You can only do so much for Jokic, but you just gotta make him inefficient and make him turn the ball over. But he's gonna fill
but
the box score regardless.
whenever Jokic starts stepping back to the wrong foot and switch, like there's just whatever, bro.
That
Like
shot to tie it up was
this
like
is
crazy in itself.
wild.
Yeah, and
Like
Zubac
he's
did everything
going
he
the
could.
wrong direction.
Yeah, so
And
I
it's yeah, it's like it's almost like whenever bro, it's like he's the best player in the world, right? So it's like
yeah,
when LeBron was in that streak of like them Heat Cavs years, and it's like that was amazing defense, and he just made it anyway.
shit. Showed
Like
them shots that Braun hitting now. This is
yeah,
like
it's like Ant said after the game. It was like he's shooting from Mexico. Like he's catching the ball in transition. I'm thinking in my head, there's no way he's gonna shoot, and he pulls up and switches it. And it's like, all right,
some folks are
you know what
just
I'm
like
saying? Are you, you know, so you've had some crazy shots, but Black's back, so we wanted to have your thoughts on Clippers. You know, the Nuggets and the Clippers series.
Man, look,
turn the
listen to
volume
me and
down on
hear
your
me
phone a
good.
little bit.
Listen to me and hear me good. Kawhi Leonard is a top two player in the NBA. I don't care what nobody say. And I feel like when Kawhi Leonard plays like this, niggas can't even argue with me, and I'm gonna be as delusional as I want. I don't give a fuck.
Okay.
No arguments from me.
I don't give a fuck.
I'll
What you
argue,
gonna
but go
say?
ahead.
I don't even know who number one is, but I
Jokic.
know he number two. Maybe he might be number one.
Jokic is
When he
definitely number
play
one.
like this, who the fuck is better than that man?
Jokic.
Respectfully,
Jokic.
it may be, but I mean, let's see if he can finish this fucking series.
That's fair.
Cause right
That's
now,
fair. And then I go
Kawhi is
head to head.
playing Jokic and he whipping his ass.
Yeah,
Respectfully,
you know, it's 2-2. So I feel like the ass was even.
man, tell that nigga stop playing with that boy. And and Kawhi Leonard, I'm trying to tell you, bro. I'm trying to tell you, if he hadn't got injured, if injuries didn't exist, Kawhi Leonard would be a top five NBA player all time.
Top 10.
Top
But I
10.
love the
I'm saying
series,
five
bro.
is
I
five's
love the
hard.
series. I love this series. This is my favorite series of the playoffs thus far. I love everything about it. Love everything about it.
And it's been an insanely amazing series. Like I said, like I told Jai whenever you were gone, we had a game-winning air ball tip dunk. That was a buzzer beater. I don't think it's never happened before in the playoffs for sure. I don't recall ever seeing one because the timing to get it to work is insane. The ball has to really be in the rim. Like it's wild to even have to go through the rule book to even do it right. But that's been an insane series so far. But that is our wrap up of the NBA playoffs. Like I said, heading into tonight, of course, the Warriors and Rockets are playing now, so we'll know a little bit more by the time this pod comes out.
Definitely. The Heat are eliminated. So
And the Grizzlies are out. So those are the two sweeps. The one seeds both swept. So
yeah,
respect to the one seeds.
def-
Um,
definitely.
the only two series to have an underdog in front is Warriors are up 2-1 and Wolves are up 3-1. And by the time this pod comes out, could be 3-1 Warriors. Um, because Draymond Green started off the game hitting two threes. So hey,
When
one of
Draymond
those
hit
nights.
threes, it's pretty much over.
Yeah, it was
He
Draymond hitting threes in
he
a bad
might as
spot.
well pack his shit up. He might
Yeah.
pack his shit the fuck
It's gonna be a
up.
long night. It's gonna be a
Yes,
long night, buddy.
man. When
And
he
he ain't
become a
even
part of fucking Splash Brothers, that's you got just
and he ain't
wait for
even
the
hitting
next
the
one.
three when like he waiting on him. He's shooting them and jogging off. Like them things
Nah,
feeling good.
when this nigga start jogging back before the shot go down, you might as well pack it up, go to the next game.
Go to the
Yeah.
next game. B, I got this one.
That's, yeah, no, that's
All
what
But
it
right, Jack.
this has been a fun show with a special guest in Black. Again, you have the open invite to the JT's After Dark show whenever you want. We're definitely gonna get you on an audio show as well at some point. But that'll probably be during football season. But I'll call your agent. We'll work it out.
Oh yeah,
Definitely,
nah,
definitely,
we'll
definitely.
figure that out for sure. Kawhi
But
Leonard, Kawhi Leonard,
no,
he taking it there.
no. All right,
You
we
you,
had Jai
you,
from
you
the
want to
Hey
call
Jai
that? You want to
podcast.
call that like Babe Ruth? You want to go ahead and just call Kawhi Leonard to the finals?
If he win this series, he going to the finals, man. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Respect.
Respect. I respect it. All right. We have Jai from the Hey Jai podcast. Of course, I am your owner and host, Justin Jackson. And follow at Jtown Sports on our social media. Follow your breaking news and updates. And at IMS Productions 2023 on Instagram. Follow your production needs.
Like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video with all your friends.
All your
Yeah.
enemies, all your cousins, you know what I'm saying? Your
Anybody that
auntie and
likes
them,
sports and
all that.
foolishness, talk to me.
Just share
Even if
that
they
shit,
don't
man.
like it, share it anyway, you know?
Just share that
Yeah.
shit. Stop playing, man. Share
Right.
that shit. Share that shit with your grandmother. Share that shit with your mom. Share that shit with your mother's mother. And
Your
just
favorite teacher, it doesn't matter.
come
Go
on,
All right,
man.
stream Sailor, Four Bats, and Ian.
facts. Big facts.
And YMCA. And YMCA. Shout out to my nigga Vinny.
You did.
Word to the
All
guys.
right, and we are out.
Peace.
Just in time sports.
Life is good. Life is good.
Look, this is just a town sports. Come and get your weekly takes. His opinion from the heart, he can never show you fake. If you winning or you losing, he gon' tell it to you straight. How we talking basketball without a Jordan Brown debate? If you got the hottest takes, you better come and make your case. If you win a couple games, he might even show you grace. JTS on every platform, we growing adaptation. Numbers going off the charts, we create the separation. Louisiana till I die is where I'm from, I can't replace it. So people minds are obtuse, but I like to be adjacent. Giving my opinion like I'm Nick Wright or I'm Jason. ESPN better watch out cause I'm coming for the spaceship. We even tweeting on Twitter, you can meet us in the spaces. Highlight clips of sports news, yeah, you gotta embrace it.